Well, in business news, latest report from the National Bureau of Statistics shows that the country's gross domestic product dropped to 2.51% year-on-year in the second quarter of 2023, compared to 3.54% recorded in the second quarter of 2022. Aggregate GDP surges by 15.9%, 77% year-on-year, which stands at 52.1 trillion naira in nominal terms, compared to 45 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2023. According to the Bureau's report, this decline may be attributed to the challenging economic conditions being experienced. The performance of the GDP in the second quarter of 2023 was driven mainly by the services sector, which recorded a growth of 0.42%, contributing 58.42% to the aggregate GDP. The agricultural sector also surged by 1.50% compared to 1.20% recorded in the second quarter of 2022. Industry sector was minus 1.94% relative to minus 2.30% recorded in the second quarter of 2022. Now, in an effort aimed at bridging the gap between practical marketing and academic theories, the Advertisers Association of Nigeria, ADVAN, is collaborating with higher institutions in learning in the country and business schools towards effective and sustainable marketing education in order to reshape marketing education in the country and across the nation. We have more in this report.
According to the Oxford Learner's Dictionary, advertising is activity and industry of advertising things to people on television, newspapers, and on the internet in order to increase sales. Marketing and advertising have contributed well over 20% to the nation's GDP based on spending from multinational companies. It is in this bid to enhance its contribution that ADVAN is collaborating with academic institutions on how to better transfer theories into practical to promote the value of marketing in Nigeria.
We're here because we're collaborating with the higher institutions of learning so that the practice and the theory of marketing, there can be collaboration and understanding and better synergy in understanding how we can transfer theory to practice. So the academicians have the theory of marketing, but we as advertisers, because we're a body of global and local multinationals that promote our businesses and products through marketing, it was important that there is this connection, partnership between us and these institutions of learning so that we can effectively promote the value of marketing in Nigeria.
Our aim in this collaboration is to ensure that we are embedded in the curriculum of the schools. We are part and parcel on the training of the future advertisers we're going to get, because if we're not in this process, by the time they come out of school, what we get is what they have made available for us.
For others, sustainability of this collaboration is paramount to adding value to personal and organizational development.
Our main goal is to create value, and we need to meet the unmet needs of the target market through the provision of products of value. In order to do this, we have to ensure that we are sustainable. But what is sustainability? How can you be sustainable if you don't know what sustainability is all about? And that is why I look at the concept of sustainability, which basically is about incorporating the three bottom lines: environmental, social, and economic components into your organizational activities.
Founded in 1992, the association is set out to advance the interest of the marketing industry in Nigeria by spearheading and ensuring global best practices, as well as facilitating collaborative partnership with relevant stakeholders.
The Nigerian Immigration Service has raised alarm over the growing use of waterways for human trafficking and smuggling. This follows the arrest of 5 human trafficking victims by officers of the Lagos Seaports and Marine Command along Badagry waterways. TVC News correspondent Ifunaya Eze has more.
As revealed by Controller Mohammed Sadiq, intelligence gathered so far indicates that an organized group is controlling the operation. He explained that the victims without documents were transported from their respective locations under the guise of getting them legal employment in Mali, Benin Republic and Abidjan in Côte d'Ivoire. Also arrested was a woman who trafficked 2 of the girls.
They have given us a contact with the phone numbers of some of the point people they were having. We are currently tracking them, and we set an undercover to the point of their embarkation so that we'll be able to trace some of the syndicate.
In recounting their ordeal, the victims, whose ages range from 15 to 23, said that they were enticed by the promise of a well-paying job abroad.
My sister dey Mali. I can't tell my sister make she find work for me for Mali. She can't call me say she see work for me. Then say which car was say na says get work. I hear say na shower work they do for that site.
It was my neighbor that told me about the opportunity. She told me that her stepsister, sister-in-law is at Abidjan, so she needed people to come, actresses and dancers, to come over there. That she has a movie industry over there. So with what she was telling me, I was convinced.
I entered bus from Warri, come Lagos. Then after I come reach Lagos, before she carry us reach my 2. From my 2, I call like go the water side before we take enter boats, reach where they take catch us.
Controller Mohammed Sadiq noted that hostilities from riverine communities are a major barrier to increase surveillance of the waterways.
We need support from the riverine community. Some of the contact we are having, they feel as if we want to remove food for their mouth. We are not removing food for anybody's mouth. We need every Nigerian to go on legitimate business, not issue of human trafficking or smuggling of migrants.
The victims and suspected trafficker were eventually turned over to the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.
Weekend deals at the stock market showed mild improvements in prices of securities. Let's join Effiong Ekop for detailed reports on markets.
The stock market week dropped values near the region of 1% as many investors stayed on sales windows for monies out of their investments. Though Friday's trade was positive, weak figures were most noticeable in key sectors. The index of the market tilted upward by 0.25 percentage point, showing struggles by companies to improve their values. Dangote Sugar and Access Corporation led deals dealers, just as Keveton Aviation, ABC Transports and Charms made marginal gains. Business was low for many insurance companies, which incurred huge losses. The trading volume of shares was a little above 200 million units, while business value pushed above 3 billion naira. Effiong Ekop, TVC News, Lagos.
Asian stocks sold off and the dollar scaled an 11-week peak against major peers today as investors braced for the risk of a hawkish tilt from Federal Reserve's Chair Jerome Powell at Jackson Hole. MSCI's broadest index of Asian Pacific shares sagged 1.2%, but remained on track for a 0.5% gain for the week, which snapped a 3-week run of decline. The tech-centric Nasdaq slumped 1.87% to lead losses of more than 1% across Wall Street's 3 major indexes, and futures indicated some further weakness at the reopening. Pan-European stock 50 futures also signaled no respite from yesterday's losses. Japan's Nikkei tumbled 2% with VDR supplied advance, the biggest drag, crashing almost 10%. Hong Kong Hang Seng slid 1.1%, while the tech sub-index dropping about twice the amount. Mainland blue chips, CSR 300, dropped 0.6%. A new data from Germany Statistics Office shows that the country's economy stagnated in the second quarter compared to the previous quarter following a winter recession, showing a 0 growth rate for the 3 months in July, while year-on-year, a gross domestic product contracted by 0.2%. In the second quarter, on a quarterly basis, economic activities dropped by 0.4% in the fourth quarter of 2022 and a 0.1% in the first quarter of 2023. Household consumption recorded zero growth in the second quarter from the first, and government spending rose by 0.1%. Capital investment also increased modestly, while exports fell 1.1%. However, Bundesbank expects economic output to remain largely unchanged again in the third quarter. And the U.S. Department of Justice says it is suing Elon Musk's SpaceX, alleging this rocket firm discriminates against refugees and asylum seekers in its hiring practices. The DOJ says SpaceX falsely claimed that it was not allowed to hire non-U.S. citizens. The investigation into SpaceX by the department was prompted after allegations of discrimination from the foreign worker. Now, the department alleged that SpaceX routinely discouraged asylees and refugees from applying and refused to hire or consider them because of their citizenship status. From September 2018 to May 2022, in a post on X, the social media platform formerly known as Twitter, Elon Musk said this tweet was yet another case of weaponization of the Justice Department for political purposes. Staying outside our shores, global market giant MasterCard will end its cryptocurrency card partnership with Binance Crypto Exchange next month. This will put an end to 4 crypto card programs in Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, starting from September 22nd of this year. The collaboration will come to an end 1 year after the launch of a prepaid card for the residents of Argentina, and in early 2023 expanded the partnership with another prepaid crypto card in Latin America. Recall that Binance and its chief executive, Mr. Champeng Zhou, were sued by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission for allegedly violating local securities law and not properly registering with the derivatives regulator. However, the decision to end the program will not impact any of MasterCard's or other crypto card programs. Crude oil prices were headed for a second week of declines, even as it rose today, as the dollar firmed before a speech by Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, while concerns over tight supply eased. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude is selling at $79.92 per barrel, with an uptick of 1.10%. Brent also experienced an upward price margin of 1.09% to sell at $84.27. Bonnie Light recorded a downward price review of 0.56% to sell at $84.91 per barrel. And for the OPEC basket, crude dealers are offering $85.84 with a downward price margin of 0.77%.